Okay, you guys, could you clear the track so we can go by? Thank you.
By the way, don't you have to worry about Jay? He's not coming.
Now I switch on the steering, the brakes, and the throttle.
Chi-Chen, can you check on this lateral code?
When you stop, let me know.
In the market to buy a new car?
What options do you want?
Don't control myself. I think I have to stop right now.
They've come up with a new option, one that leaves the driving to the car.
A crisis is looming on the nation's 4 million miles of streets, roads, and highways. Driven by population growth, the demand for mobility as a fundamental economic need is at odds with our ability to fund new highways and maintain a clean environment.
There's three major concerns. One is the safety of the highways. It's known that over 40,000 people die on our nation's highways every year. This costs the country $160 billion just in lost lives and property damage. Second is the congestion. 79% of the nation's interstate highways during peak hours are now congested. And thirdly, there's the problem of environment.
What if you could address all of these serious concerns and still use existing roadways and infrastructure? The National Automated Highway System Consortium brings hope. NAHSC is a diverse team of companies, governments, and universities at the helm of a breakthrough in transportation technology. The challenge? To plan the system so the technology saves lives, time, money, and the environment.
People are often curious about what an automated highway system is and how it would work. I normally describe it to them in terms of an automatic or electronic chauffeur.
Take control. On the road. Take control. I'm going out there, automated drive in the road. Take control.
On an automated highway facility, you as the driver would drive to the entrance ramp in much the way you drive to the entrance ramp of a toll road today. And at that point, the control would be handed over to the automatic system, which would then do the driving for you. And when you reach your exit point, then you would resume control and continue driving until you got to your destination. This makes it possible for you to drive without paying attention to what's going on in the roadway. It lets you make use of that travel time to do whatever you want.
The consortium has given the world a peek at how technology can perform during Demo 97. A proof of technical feasibility demonstration mandated by Congress to show how an automated highway will increase safety and decrease traffic congestion.
But ladies and gentlemen, it's only a beginning. We're demonstrating and we're celebrating not the end of a project. We are celebrating really the beginning of a whole new attitude and an idea in transportation.
And as the world press watched, Demo 97 unveiled a highway where radar, lasers, and sensors talk with onboard computers, regulating the acceleration, braking, and steering of a vehicle. Drivers were able to enjoy the ride.
I just wonder if you need a driving license because when you drive as fast, as safe, it's really incredible.
If you can use in the very crowded Asian country cities, I think it's wonderful.
What was it like, Herb?
Jane, it was great. It really was a lot of fun.
The quest for a safer, smarter highway is moving right on track.
A flurry of worldwide press coverage fueled the excitement over automated driving.
Last call for the green scenario. Green ticketed passengers report to the loading area.
And grew some more as consumers and government officials waited in line to take a spin in the automated vehicles.
It's pretty fantastic.
It's supernatural. It's just like space flight. Everything is done automatically.
I think that it's an experimental system, and I had a lot of confidence in the researchers and what they are putting in today and what they're demonstrating.
To experience a ride on the automated highway system is to engage in a very unique experience. It is empowering in that you think in the first instance that you're giving up something when you give up control of the vehicle. But when you recognize that doing so puts you in a much safer environment, it allows for you to operate your vehicle in a much more efficient manner, then you begin to understand how you are actually empowered.
And if they weren't getting a ride in one of the AHS vehicles, attendees could get their questions answered at one of dozens of Expo Center display booths, or during AHS experiments by aspiring college students, or before riding shotgun in the automated 18-wheeler. To demonstrate the range of automated capabilities, the consortium presented several different scenarios, showing functions like obstacle avoidance.
Yeah, here we are. Both Dean and I are driving with no hands. We're coming up to this obstacle up here, but this is pretty cool. I wonder what the other traffic thinks. All right, it sees the barrels and is swerving. And we're around it. No hands.
Other scenarios involve a line of cars called a platoon, where computers allow the vehicles to safely drive with little space between them. And the free agent scenario, where an automated vehicle can be mixed in with conventional traffic, demonstrating how these vehicles could be deployed step by step in the very near term.
The whole idea in the free agent scenario is to put as much of the intelligence as possible right onto the vehicles. This has a bunch of consequences. First of all, we don't have to do any modifications to the infrastructure. Our sensors can pick up the markings that are already down there. Secondly, our vehicle is self-contained, so it doesn't have to talk to other vehicles, so we can run it in mixed traffic, even if there are human-controlled vehicles mixed in with the automated vehicles.
Demo 97 was not limited to cars. Automated transit buses will give new meaning to the saying, "Leave the driving to us."
It offers great opportunities, not just for our grandchildren, but for our children and for ourselves.
It's important to show that the technologies involved in automated vehicles are real, they're here, they're available, and they're safe.
Technologies on these vehicles that consumers may see in the near term include adaptive cruise control, which senses vehicles ahead and alters speeds accordingly. This is done through the use of different types of sensors. Collision avoidance, which detects obstacles and other vehicles in the road and safely adjusts the course for a single vehicle or a platoon. Cars can communicate driving information through a combination of sensors and communication signals. And lane-keeping technologies using video cameras or markers that are tracked by magnetic sensors in a vehicle, ensuring lanes are followed precisely. The vehicle can then calculate its exact location in relation to data it rapidly reads. Smart cruise control, like that being demonstrated by Eaton Borad, an associate participant in the consortium, is an example of a building block technology across the variety of scenarios. What Demo 97 may lead to is an AHS prototype in less than 10 years that can overcome many transportation safety challenges, at the same time allowing each existing lane to handle traffic more efficiently.
Safe distance between cars is maintained by automatic radio control.
Since the dawn of the automobile age, futurists have been predicting that vehicles will eventually drive themselves. In fact, AHS research began at General Motors in the 1930s.
Firebird 2 to Control Tower. We are about to take off on the highway of tomorrow. Stand by.
And you needn't be a design engineer to envision its potential.
Well done, Firebird 2. You're now under automatic control. Hands-off steering.
Over the years, transportation researchers have taken up the challenge, but we're only working on parts of the system. It wasn't until 1991 that a federal transportation law called for harnessing all this energy into the development of automated highway system technologies.
Before the consortium, the AHS work was largely scattered throughout the scientific community. There was particular emphasis on AHS in the state of California because of the particular congestion problems that they have there.
The public asked for safe roadways, safe travel, and they asked for mobility, for smooth flow. The public's tired of the congestion on the roads. So we're doing everything we can. We have a broader program in intelligent transportation systems. And one aspect of that program is looking at what can you do with vehicle control, with computers, sensors, communication, so that the vehicles operate better, to help the driver operate the vehicle for safer travel or smoother travel.
So what drivers will experience on the roads and highways of the future and in their cars is a progressive deployment of automated highway system technologies.
If you look 10 years down the road from now, we'll have the actuators in place, we'll have many of the sensors in place, and it will just take a little bit of additional electronics and a little bit of computer programming to make it possible to have completely automated travel.
Imagine, it's been a long day and you really need to relax. You've just battled some extremely heavy stop-and-go traffic, so you decide to have a cup of coffee, flip through a catalog, or even read a book to your child while your car does the driving the rest of the way home. It may sound far-fetched, but the technology exists.
I can make people relax, be stress-free. Very innovative idea. Go with it.
I'll never see it happen.
Oh, don't be too sure.